Didn't end up getting that break today, sadly. Also, apparently today's the day that all my technology decided to say fuck off. So I'm having to do this without my earpiece because for some reason, as David so comically said repeatedly, all that I was making very loud wah wah noises on it. He could have just said, nope, can't hear you, but he decided to specify the wah wah noises. Either way, it's been a day. Hey, there's something positive. At least something positive. Teeny little white maidens. This is a Georgia native. And it's actually, thankfully, flip around, goddammit, camera. It's actually a little bit aggressive. So that's pretty cool. It might do pretty well out here in the field because all it really has to compete with, I love technology, y'all, just gotta say, so awesome it is. But all it's really got to compete with are these little caffeine sticks. And they do function almost like a caffeine, though not as good as coffee beans. And it's got to fight with the little non-native, there they are, non-native dandelions. The native dandelions are a little bit closer to the ground than those. But, come on, camera. Eventually, I'm going to have to replace all of my tech. I just don't have the money for it. But, nah, I tried to take some notes. Most of them are stuck in my head because, once again, the camera just decided to backlight me for some reason. Either way, it's been a bit of a rough one, to be honest. But at least the weather's pretty nice. Probably due to the fact that it's been storming all day until about 20 minutes before I left. But it's a pretty good one, I guess, all things considered. Jesse's last day with us working together. And my God, I wish I'd had the energy to at least pull up well, we're gonna miss you, bud. I mean, I did say it. I kind of meant it. My phone is just flashing on and off with the backlight, so if something fucky happens, do somebody type it in chat. That way I'll know and I won't waste my time. But thought we'd talk about the unhoused epidemic in this country, and I even did math. I took a few notes, not many, because at the end of the day, everyone's aiming to get the hell out the door, and nobody really wants to hang out and help me do the closing bit. And Mary can't really help me do the closing bit because she's got to do the bookkeeping bits. Hello, Gerald M. Hey, look, it's a sad boy. I hate that truck design so goddamn much. Sorry to be that way, y'all, if you drive one of those pieces of shit. But you can't see in front of you when it's designed like that. It's why if he didn't have that vehicle grandfathered in, he wouldn't be allowed to have it now. But my guess, much like the assholes that have the just loud muffler for no reason, he's probably got that thing grandfathered in. Now, the few notes I could take, teeny tiny notebook. I like my teeny tiny notebook. There's No Place for Us, Working and Homeless in America by Brian Goldstone. That's the next book that I seek to find ideally, if and when the library can re-up their books. They haven't been able to order new for a minute, but hopefully that'll change soon. Again, hello, Gerald M. Sorry if I didn't specify saying hi before the loud truck. But one of the big things that just stuck with me, because for some reason, and I guess the Sam Cedar report didn't want to, they said it was an alarming number, and yeah, it kind of is. But I had to Google it because they weren't going to just give us the straight up numbers. The actual number of unhoused people in America as of 2024, when they did, they go around about once a year to all the homeless shelters and they just count heads. They also, if they happen to bust your encampment on the street, they write you down as homeless. If you are in a extended stay hotel, you're not homeless in America, buddy. Living out of a motel, you're not homeless in America. America, that motel is your home. Living in a trailer, a chicken shack, a shed, a mini house? Nope, not homeless. The only way that you are homeless in America is if they write you down on this registry. So that registry is 771,480 people. But again, given the very large or the very small parameters, the actual numbers, when crunched and taken into actually asking people, and these are Americans willing to admit it, over the age of 18, willing to self-identify and out there. And that number is 4,628,880. That number is your actual number. And it's still like, you know, grandma who's too proud to admit that extended stay motel is kind of basically being homeless. She didn't count herself. So some people are still not counted and are still falling through the cracks. But I don't really blame them, considering, again, in this country, well, something else that Brian and Sam Cedar brought up in this report with Emma Vigland is how during COVID there were those two brothers in either Pennsylvania or New Jersey, somewhere up north. But during COVID, they went around and they bought up all the hand sanitizer and started selling it at, you know, $20 extra on this price. And yeah, people condemned them for it. Hell, people argued about lynching them for it. And yet, when we allow companies like Blackstone to do it, well, that's just good business. Here's my problem with the good business. It's not just somebody buying up all the homes at this point. They buy the homes, they buy the hotels, they're playing Monopoly with us. And none of us got the money to come to the table and play. Unless we work together. And then you got to get people that are actually going to work together, remembering that in America, the best way to get rich is A, sue the shit out of somebody, B, divorce somebody who's already got money, or C, have a well-timed accident. And the last one, of course, is be born into the money and go ahead and invest it the way you see fit. Because if you're born rich in America, you win automatically. There's only a risk if you're poor in America. And that needs to change, but that's kind of why we're here, and that's kind of where my notes stopped at, because it's one of those, guys, I don't have an easy solution. Like I was telling my boss, I really need to find one that isn't just me getting on here and saying, well, fuck it. There's 400 billionaires. Let's start by getting rid of them. Because that's wrong. That's a call to violence, and that's not something that we need to work on or do. Hey, check it out. This is kind of cool. This is one of our few prairie-like walks, and I kind of hate it and love it in equal portions. Two reasons. One, it is a nice safe haven for a lot of different species, like this passion fruit. Oh, there it is. And I'm trying not to step on any of them, because I'm hoping to get that one when it starts to bloom. The reason I don't like it is this is river cane. And it's not really invasive, but it don't belong up here. It belongs down there. I'm guessing that it migrated up here via boots and animal fur. More of those itty bitty little prairie ones. It's just been one of those frustrating days on frustrating days kind of things. I'm trying to see the positive in it, but it's like, y'all, in a world where, and I meant to start this video from the park, but with the headpiece not working and the park basically being along a wind line, for lack of a better term, the wind's always blowing through there. Because originally my thought as I walked through the park, basically empty because it's Sunday and, well, most of our old folks are at church right now. But I went to walk through the park, and all that went through my head is, why don't we incentivize homeless encampments in the park? Because so long as you provide them with decent tents and like porta potties and latrines for bathrooms, yeah, it could do just fine. Now, would I be saying, oh yeah, y'all, let's go live in the park? No, not really, but it would be a safe place. another dipshit. There's the dipshit. I'm sorry to be so hateful, y'all. I don't mean to be a hateful cunt, but it's like, again, 2 genocides going on, a war with the unhoused, and people are wasting their money on such stupid frivolities that I can't quite grasp. I mean, granted, I'm not without frivolities. I'm playing the free Cult of the Lamb because I spent $14 on PlayStation. So, I mean, frivolity, but let's be clear, my frivolity will hopefully eventually entertain y'all to such an extent that it starts making profit and starts allowing me to fund other things like this here. One second. This is not river cane. I'm not sure what it is, but I found it growing by the river, and I've been trying to spread it up through here as much as I can, because originally this was all just these. And while these plants are lovely, damn it, wait a second. While these plants are lovely, they're also very, very slick. And unless this construction company, which I have no idea what their actual plans are, other than, according to the nice fellow with the sign, this is going to be a roadway and a subdivision, or an apartment complex, so that's fucking cool. But I don't know if they're going to take out the natural creek over here, because they've been pouring concrete and doing all sorts of interesting shit that now that they're not here, let's take a closer look see at. See, it looked neat, but they haven't gotten rid of the creek, so now I'm curious to what they're up to. My original thought was, oh, they're going to drain the creek, concrete it up, and make it into like a walkway that basically would start up there, cut down under here, and then basically turn the large river culvert that this is built on top of into a tunnel. That's what I thought they were going to do. Now I'm truly at a loss at what the hell their plan is. Hey, we haven't seen our old friend in a few days. Let's say hi. That piece of rebar been sticking out there for as long as I've been alive. That rebar is almost as old as me. City still ain't gonna fucking fix it until it hooks a motorcyclist and spears him there like old Vlad the Impaler. I'm not looking forward to that. That's gonna be fucking horrifying. But you know, 'tis the normal thing for a city. Some made their shots with the bottle and the soda can. But yeah, y'all, I hope that I'm still coming in clearly. I would highly suggest checking out the Sam Cedar Report, interviewing Gold. 1 minute. I'm not going to give a wrong name when I have notes in my pocket. Alright. Let me see. Because I'm old. Okay. Brian Goldstone. I highly recommend checking out the Sam Cedar Report with Brian Goldstone and Emma Vigeland. I'm sure Emma Watson was on there at some point, but not this episode. Nah, I like Sam. He, like I said, they did not cover the actual numbers because I'm sure those would be highly depressing. But it's like, you know, he brings you the news. And he brings you just enough of it to not make it suicidally depressing. Even though, yeah, y'all, if you're keeping up, we ain't doing so hot here in the U.S. right now. I'm also wondering if Cher will show up, because I called that shit, y'all. I think we might have our very first hate watcher. And I'm just, 1 second. And I'm just pleased as punch for that. What's up, bud? You want to come in and harass me? I'm all up for it. We can have some tea. The only thing I ask, call me a fuckhead. Call me anything you want. Do not call me a slur. We don't do slurs here. And outside of that, have a blast, friend. I'm a Southerner. You can't really hurt those feelings, because as a tradition, we Southern men kind of destroy our feelings. Those of us who don't succeed at it end up with drinking problems. Ah, yes, with my old person flyaway hair. If there was a lightning storm overhead, I would be very concerned. but mostly this is just leave-in conditioner. Oh, in other fun little sort of bullshitty news. Yes, we're all very proud of you. Too bad your father wasn't. But in other news, Dollar General has on sale right now these little about this big a bottle of rice water. Well, a little thinner than that. It's for the spray. It's like for your hair and such. And I'm not knocking rice water. Rice water is pretty fucking cool. But a bag of white rice that you can make your own rice water out of, a bag to make that $5 container is about $1. A bag that will make you 3 of those containers is like $5. Do you see what old Uncle Travis is telling you should do if you want to try the rice water? Get you some rice, have you some delicious home cooking chicken fried rice, or, you know, get you some cooked rice after you boil it and cook it. Get you that rice water, and there you go. I just saved you a bunch of money. Do us a favor, if you saved money at that hack, put it into the Trevor Project or PBS, because I'm a little bit worried, y'all. I mean, I'm hoping Sesame Street's going to keep to, you know, what they've always stood on, but they just moved to Netflix. And let's face it, we all know Netflix is kind of hit or miss. Because, yeah, they have some good shit. Also, every single sex pest and sex offender fucking dead-end stand-up comedian has their own special on Netflix. So, I don't know how to put it. I don't own a Netflix, so I'm kind of just, I'm hoping the Sesame Street sticks around and stays as good as it was when I was a kid, and hopefully when y'all were kids. We about to run. Ready? 1, 2, run, run, run. I love this road so much. One day it's going to kill me. Extraction edits. Hello, hello. How are y'all doing today? Also, I went on to the Buy Me a Coffee one. Nobody's funded me. That's fine. I get it, dude. I get it. Times are hard, and I'm just your friendly neighborhood ranter. Just a yapping about shit that we can't really change unless we all work together to change it together. I don't expect your funding. What I hope for is that someone hears me calling out for funding PBS, the Trevor Project, or some of these other places, and decides to go fund them. For me, I need my site to, you know, be able to sell my upcycled artwork. Be able to put my upcycled artwork down, because it was like, it's just my name and my face, and that's not enough to ask people for money. So I started like, okay, well, since anyone that puts money into it's going to be funding the local wildlife, I'll put up the pictures of like the butterflies, the lunar moth, some of the animals I've seen and gotten snapshots of. But then trying to do that, it was like loading, 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 uploading your upload, uploading your upload, failed. And just over and over again with that. So I'm going to give it a day and then I'll try again. And if it don't work out this time, well, much as I hate it, I might just have to go get on fucking Patreon. I don't particularly want to do that one. One, because I don't completely know what they require. But also, I don't know, y'all. I can't say that it's always the right decision to stick to the path least traveled. But it seems like that's the one that the corporations and, you know, the parasites avoid. It's why I was really looking forward to the Ko-Fi, K-O-F-I site, but then they just vanished on me. So I'm if anyone put money towards that, I'm very sorry. That site vanished. They say I don't exist, even though I filled shit out for them. So it's like, I don't know, guys, working on it. The business side of this is going to fail miserably. On the plus side, I can already see some of the plants that have been planted in the park taking root. So hopefully that'll get worked out soon. And I should have the plastic bottles now to do some of the, go on, little friend. I should have some of the plastic bottles now, enough of them, that now I just need to make some wicks. And then we're gonna try to do some hydroponics. Get a variety of food plants growing. Shit. I left a thing of onions on top of the work area. Miss Mary, if you happen to be watching this, please do grab that and move it to the fridge. Otherwise, we might soon have onions growing in my work area. And I'd be cool with that, but I'm sure the health department wouldn't be. Not one of the onions in the pack was so bad that it was actually sprouting onions off of it. So I set it aside. The original intent was to take it home with me today and stick it in one of my hydroponic bottles to give a good test. Then I forgot it. You ever forget shit? Happens to me more than I like to admit. But we'll get it worked out. If we lose that onion, so be it. There'll be others. My main goal is just to get enough of them growing. Ooh, check this out. I don't know what it is, but we will find out. Come on, there we are. Ain't she pretty? Like I said, y'all walk around. You'll be surprised what you can find out here. That's all river cane. I thought it was bamboo. I was gonna go on a whole ass rant about how bamboo has taken over this area. But if you look at it real careful, it's not bamboo. That's just plain old good old southern river cane. And that's a good sight to see, mostly because so many folks think bamboo is such a good option. Don't get it twisted. If you're using it, like, you know, you make knickknacks, perhaps if you cook with it, something like, no complaining, friends. Bamboo is an amazing plant, but it is one of those plants that's sort of like getting a big dog. If you can't control them, you're kind of just putting yourself down for heartache with others attached. But I don't know. The other side was, I still haven't seen anything eating the chicken parts yet. I saw it the first few days, and now I'm not sure what I'm feeding outside of possibly catfish. But I've been moving them around because I also don't want to just dump in one area, you know? What else was there? Like I said, I tried to memorize what I could because I couldn't really stop to take notes today. It was kind of as soon as I got in, I got greeted with, oh, we only have like 3 containers of eggs. And I was like, well, shit. So I immediately started making eggs. About the time I got 2-3 containers of eggs knocked out and done and all the eggs crocked up and used up, it was, oh, by the way, this jackass wants 4 orders onion rings and we have no onions or batter. So immediately, give me a minute, grab my knife. Didn't use any of the machinery because, dodge the pretty flowers. Because while the machinery is useful and very nice, if we're out, I don't have the time to prep it, use it, then clean it. So I just, grabbed my old chopper and did something that apparently a lot of young kids don't know how to do. I'm not going to judge. I'm not one of those old people. And traffic was backed up for a hot second, so who knows what we're going to walk into, friends. This road normally does not have traffic. I mean, it has traffic. Look, we have people. It's just normally the traffic is much more sparse. Because while the speed limit is 55, speed limit 45, ha. The road almost called me a liar. But even though the speed limit's 45, the common speed limit through here is about 60. So, I can usually tell new drivers because they're actually going the appropriate speed. I'm hoping we're not about to find an accident up ahead or something. But it is Sunday, so I know it wasn't a school bus, and that's about the only thing ever slow this road down. I don't know, y'all. It's been a day. It's been a very exhausting day. And I don't even know how to describe the exhaustion other than just, it's the capitalist drudgery. It's the, genuinely, y'all, if someone wants to put $400 in chat, I'll chop my pinky off today on stream. It's worth it. I can cauterize the wound. I'll miss my pinky, but $400 to get a good chunk of my debts paid off. I'm kidding, only a little. I'm kidding though. Don't self-harm for money. Even in America, it's a bad idea. Nah. Real talk though, one of the things I read was from, for some reason they like to send me a lot of information on Floyd County. And I know Floyd County. I know David and I go to Floyd every once in a while when he has doctor stuff to do. But I don't like hang out, you know? Our friend has moved on, it appears. But either way, I don't really do Floyd that much for them to keep giving me news from Floyd. Maybe Floyd's just the only interesting part of Georgia right now. But there's a man in Floyd who had to go to court, and I swear to fuck this man they pulled out of a damn... He's a stereotype in a bad way. I feel like his name's got to be Bubba or Jasper or something equally very... The man had a written accent. And he would like to point out that even though he had a latrine in his backyard, it was a porta-john. He would never dump bright yellow Home Depot buckets of raw sewage into their creek. Even though they have video footage of him dumping buckets of sewage into the creek, where he literally, I shit you not, 1 minute, he waddles over to this creek and dumps his shit in it with his, as if he's a professional plumber, his butt crack hanging out. And it's just, he will see his day in court. And I'm just like, I mean, don't get me wrong. We do need that. It's an important thing. Court is important and everybody should have, but it's like, but come on, dude, we got you dead to rights. Dead to rights on, well, that was mop water. It was not sewage. Sir, now we're just splitting hairs. You can't dump chemicals in the fucking river, asshole. It bugs me, y'all. It bugs me. He thought that was a defense. He thought he had some hot shit there. Oh, it wasn't my shit. It was just Dawn and bleach. Sir, that creek feeds into the rivers. I mean, I don't think your bleach mix is going to make it all the way to the ocean from our creek, but you're certainly going to do some real damage to the environment. And y'all, I'm so tired. I'm so tired. Look, I'm not saying lie. I would never ever tell y'all to lie. But, wait a minute. That's another new one. That's another Georgia native, and it's a baby. The bigger version, if we can find one over here. Well, here's a cousin of it. Nope, here's a bigger version. Hell yeah. I cannot tell you to use this because, one, I cannot fully identify it. But two, there are ones with purple blossoms like that are known to help. Come on. There we go. There are ones with purple blossoms like that known to help with voices and schizoaffective disorders. I don't know why I know that information. I've not tried wild herbs in order to deal with shit. But that's one of them that I've tried and it does quiet them a little. You brew it into a fine tea if that's the one I'm thinking of. If not, it might be foxglove and that would poison you. So that'd be bad. Don't do that. Choose life, friends. Either way. Here. Let me flip you around so you can stare off at the beautiful ditch. And we're going to see what we can find in this here ditch as we walk about. See, these people have a creek right through here, and I think I'm standing dead center in it, which is unfortunate. But if you notice, what I mistook for baby's breath is actually a wild type of flower. And this little fella will feed all sorts of animals. If I can get it in focus. It's just a lovely little pollinating plant, isn't it? I shouldn't have snatched that one off of it, honestly, but there are a good number here in the ditch. And this is just a basic feeder ditch, so as it comes off the road up there, it'll eventually end up feeding through here. We have river cane, we have some maples, and this is that little island I was telling you about. If you dig in there, you can look through, and there's actually a very, very, very massive gopher den. Or groundhog, I'm not quite sure which. I know that is a type of river plant as well. Like I said, eventually I plan on coming through here with a proper cell phone, or one that's, oh, hey, that feller bit me. Come on, phone, we're missing a good point. That feller bit me. That is an American locust, also known as the common field cricket. I don't think he actually bit, though they are capable of it. Typically, I think what happened was he landed on me and his cute little stabby bits got on my hand. Who knows what, oh, there he goes. See, that's a good thing about walking out here in nature, friends. Because honestly, when I got off work, I was in the pissiest of moods. I was just tired, ready to get home, play Cult of the Lamb, take out all my frustrations on ancient gods. I done met a locust. We done fed some wild animals. Saw some turtles. And right now, I'm walking, getting phone. There we go. And currently I'm walking through what I would consider possibly sweetgrass, but I'm not positive. I'm not that good. I can't recognize it till it gets fully grown. But it's very soft. Also, it's not too hot out, so that's always a perk, getting to walk with my hair down and whatnot. Now, y'all, there's a very easy solution to homelessness. I mean, it wouldn't 100% solve it, but it would at least make it to where all the asshole Gen Xers that I have to fucking listen to, well, it's a choice. Well, it's a choice. No, the fuck it isn't, y'all. Seriously, it's a trap. It's a trap. There's one person. The name has been changed, but they call her Brittany. She's got a family. She's also got cervical cancer. And she lost her house because her landlord, who used to own the land, decided to sell the land to one of these companies, aka BlackRock. And then BlackRock basically said, oh, you were about a day late on your rent. Sorry, hon, you're evicted. Because here in Georgia, yeah, all you got to do, it's my property, they haven't paid me. That's enough, that's all. At that point, the sheriff will be there to evict them same day. And I think, nope, that one's just blossoming, never mind. I thought we had one of those flowers with a pollinator on it. But I mean, the way we fight this, y'all, is simple, and it's hard at first. But everyone who owns property, decrease how much rent costs and put in more tiny houses on said property. Also, more extreme leftists in government would make it to where public parks could start. Basically, if you're renting in the park, part of your rent, which would be a very low amount, would be maintaining the park. The state could provide them with a variety of lawnmowers, equipment that's needed or necessary, or even more better, if they're people that don't mind like myself, if the park gave me this option, fuck fast food. I would full on become a ranger. If they would just let me pitch my tent in the park and live there, I'll be a fucking ranger for you. Why the hell not? It'd basically at that point be taking care of my home. But that's the thing. I feel like a lot of people would be like this. So why not utilize that? Especially with them cutting the hell out of the budget. This seems to be a great workaround to that. It would provide housing to people who need housing. It would provide jobs to Americans who so desperately do want to work, but otherwise have no means of achieving said goal. Also, it's kind of bullshit to have a lottery that once you've won the lottery, you can still lose. Because here in Georgia, we have housing vouchers. I never go for them because technically I'm a single dude. And honestly, if they would quit making everything harder and more illegal, I'd be perfectly fine living out of my van. I'd have to get a van first, of course, but you get what I'm saying, right? Either way, I wouldn't mind living out of a van. I don't think a family should have to live out of a van, though. So I would always say if I had a voucher, if I won that lottery, I would say, nah, give it to the next family. One, I couldn't do that. If I won, you win. You can't pass it on. Two, if you win that voucher, which is a very small chance you win it, but if you win it, then it's up to the landlord. And a human person landlord, if they're not a piece of shit, will accept the voucher because basically at that point you pay them a bit of cash and the voucher basically means they can go into the county clerk's office and collect the rest from the county. That's why they gave you the voucher. BlackRock, I think Equifax, but I'm not positive. Like I said, I didn't get to take my notes, so I can't really speak with the ferocity. But I can tell you, like from reading it, yeah, any corporation that's attached to landowning like that, they immediately refuse your voucher. And for some reason, the state doesn't enforce it. I would have it to where the states enforced it. Because the voucher's just as good as fucking money. And most of the ones who don't want to accept it, they don't want to accept it because they're racist. And they instantly think Section 8 means, immigrant and or colored person. Person of color. They don't like that. I mean, that's the same reason why back during the Civil War, you had hundreds of thousands of black folks leaving the South because, they'd had enough. I don't blame them. But now they've been flocking back because of the thought and the hope that they could basically, buy cheap property. Back when I was a kid, the South was the cheapest place to live because you could basically buy a place, put a trailer up on it, put a small house up on it, and then build as you need. That dream has died years ago. That's the other thing about the whole curse, so to speak, of my particular... Wait a second. Crap, what'd I do? I hit a short. I don't want to create a highlight. I am not highlightable right now. Like I said, y'all, eventually I'd like to get some scripted content for you. Start dropping exclusive content on a website of some sort. I mean, I figure if all the right-wing douchebags have their own, why not go ahead and get my own, but for, community work and outreach. I'm trying my best, y'all, but you gotta understand. For years and years, my plan, which many teachers thought was foolish, but if America hadn't gone fucking pear-shaped, my plan would be ideal right now. My original plan was to basically get old enough, big enough, and strong enough, get me a tent, get the knowledge under my belt to purify water, to hunt and kill and cook my own food, to break down the animals as I see fit, most of which were fish because I don't have a heart to kill the fuzzy animals. To tell you the truth, it kind of hurts my feelings to kill the fish, but hunger would eventually win. Either way. That was my plan, just to fuck off into the wild and leave all you people to fuck this place up as you see fit. You cut off my escape route. I can't. If you go out into a national park right now, even the wildest national parks, and they see you there, one of their drones picks you up, they will drag your ass out kicking and screaming. You will get vagrancy at the very least if you didn't do anything while you were there to build a fucking nest. Like I said, it's bullshit, y'all. It's like I don't know. I don't want to be yeah, anti-socialism's the way to go. It's not. But I will say that if you're going to try to fight the higher authorities and systems, Yeah, the whole being able to be on your own is like the best tool in your box right now. Because, y'all, for the record, I'm not that guy. If you're under the age of 26, I'd say, even 25, if you're under that age, have fun, do the TikTok shit, for fuck's sake. Y'all need to be YOLOing. Y'all should be YOLOing the fuck out of it. Because this wasn't y'all's fault. Tell you the truth, it wasn't all millennials' fault either. But we kind of have some of the ownership on it. And, I mean, we could blame boomers and Gen X for rampantly destroying the planet we have to live on, while still saying, well, why don't you just bootstrap it? Yeah, those jackasses are out there. And yeah, we can blame them. And many, many, many days I do. Because fuck them. But, truth be told, blame only gets so far, and at the end of the day, we gotta get to work on the work. It's why, like I said, had the park not been an unholy son of a bitch, and my tech not rebelled against me, I would have been showing y'all the farm plots that I've more or less set up in the park. And eventually I'll start getting farm plots set up. But you know, dirt's not as free as you would think it is. If I didn't know better, I'd say it was a pot plant. I know it's not. Though how hilarious would it be for one of the rich fucks to get arrested because they got a pot plant growing in their front yard? That'd be fucking hilarious. Terrible, I mean terrible. Don't laugh at people's downfalls just because they got no soul. And the most useful thing they've ever contributed to their life will inevitably be their death when they free up all that money to go back into the system that they've been hoarding. But that's a harsh truth. Many people can't take that truth. That's it, y'all. You want to do help? Plant native, grow wild food where you can. Get you a few hydroponic plants growing. And I'm talking like Book of Eli, Resident Evil, 7 Days to Die. I'm talking do hydroponics like you're in a survival situation. Get your bottle, cut it open, put your medium inside. Dirt, more than likely. You can use anything that'll grow a seed. Have a wick drawn through it, tend to some water. Make sure you keep your water source clean and, you know, maybe even throw some miracle ink grow in there if you're so inclined. And then grow you some food. And if you don't need it because you hate vegetables, you're a big manly man and you hate veggies, fine. Grow veggies for the rest of the folks. Oh, here's a puppy. That's a cute puppy. I hope he stays on his side of the yard because I'm over here in the dangerous section. And while I might not like these rich fucks at all, their dog don't got no fight with me. He seems like a good fellow. Just trying to guard his little plot. Yeah, that's a good boy. What can I say, y'all? I might hate rich humans, but rich people's pets are still pets. I might hate the owners, but that's still a good boy or girl. Look at them. Aren't they a good boy or girl? They look like a cute boy or girl. Boxer from this distance, he looks like. Hard to tell, though, from this distance. At least without my glasses. Eventually, I plan on getting those, y'all, but I don't know if America's Best still does the offer to repair them for free. And if they don't, that's a hell of a long walk to be told no and have to carry broken glasses back home. Ugh. Like I said, it's rough, y'all. And it ain't gonna get no easier. So, we ought to try to make it together better. For when we stand together, we can conquer anything. Then again, who knows? Maybe I'm gonna pop up on one of Hannah Reloaded's conspiracy theory channels. Maybe I'll be a conspiracy theorist one day. I already kind of am. I just, try not to fly off the handle or go with any crazy bullshit. It's why I'm not on here talking about the green to y'all I do mean it spiritually. It gives me a sense of connection to the planet that one day I will die and the mushrooms that grow out of my body will continue to regenerate the earth for countless years. We are truly but a small piece of a much grander design. And that's fucking beautiful to me. But there's not like a consciousness to it. At no point, even though, yes, birds have given me fine gifts, and yes, they can help and things like that, they'll guide you. But there's no oh no, said random person's about to shoot me. Tree branch falls down and crushes them. There's never that kind of direct action. It's more just, if you plant wild food, it will grow accordingly. Other animals, not just humans, will eat it, shat it out, and continue the process. Everything gets a return, good or bad. Like I said, someone that plants this nasty ass British didn't mean to get all up in your face. My phone's being an asshole. There it is. Someone that plants this nasty ass British ivy will one day be reaping, biting insects, more mosquitoes, because the thing that eats those mosquitoes can't live in that ivy so easily. And eventually, when they have to fight like hell against it with a bush hog, because it will grow aggressively with nothing to compete against it, they'll be dealing with their own problem. I mean, ask most of the South about kudzu and they'll tell you the facts there. And what kills me is there was already a natural solution to that. And that's the biggest thing. Most of the time when we put something else in there, there's already something good there that could have done just fine. I mean, I don't know, y'all. Maybe it is we're blind by design. And maybe history does keep getting paid to change its mind. Maybe some wounds will just never heal. Sorry, maybe some wounds are just never meant to mend. A romance with ignorance. Sorry, I can't remember who sang the song, and I'm hoping if I keep, Eminemming it, eventually the name of it will come to my head. But I do think I worried some of my coworkers because, admittedly, the more stressed out I got, the more I just started to fall into the song, and it's, we can't go to hell if we're already there. I know the end is coming, and they say I should prepare. We can't go to hell if we're already there. That song, y'all. It's a good song. Check it out if I ever remember the title and put it in for y'all. But nah, just real talk, a lot of it seems to be just laziness. And not really like intentional laziness, like built in. Because, y'all, I'm not going to lie. I almost didn't stream today. It's fucking exhausting. Trying to think of ways to get on here and yak about changing the system, mostly to an empty audience, because again, I'm just yakking. Y'all ain't getting to see me do the cool stuff. Because most of the time when I'm doing the cool stuff, I don't have an assistant to film me. I just take little snapshots because I'm, busy doing the thing. It just sucks sometimes, y'all. Grand plans, mice and men, all that. But above all else, one of the big things is I'm never going to have that problem, but stop using realtors to sell your shit. Don't use AI unless you have no other choice. Buy local, stay local, work local. And for the record, that's not to say, there's anything wrong with foreign labor, foreign workers, or foreign products. It's just, when it comes to the natural environment, Well, there's a reason tengus are about to be legalized across the U.S. And honestly, there's nothing wrong with tengus. They're wonderful little lizards. For those who don't know what a tengu is, it's basically a lizard with the personality of a dog. And they get pretty big. That's one of the big reasons people want them. But at the end of the day, it's still a reptile, y'all. And Americans are very bad about the very basic skills. Things like washing your hands. Things like accountability. But when it comes to lizards and reptiles in particular, washing your hands is very, very important. Because, yeah, I love Zed, and Zed, to the most he can, loves me. If I touch Zed without gloves on and don't wash my hands afterwards, there is a very real, not zero chance, probably about 50-50 chance, I pick up, what is it, salmonella? It's a bad one you don't want. It's the you're blowing up out of both ends kind of disease. And yeah, about every reptile carries it on their scales. So, and again, that's not like, I'm not saying don't handle reptiles, y'all. I'm saying if you handle them, 2 rules. 1, make sure you know that fucking reptile. Make sure it's either yours or your friend's reptile. 2, wash your nasty hands when you're done handling that reptile. And ideally before you handle it. Because much like our skin, their skin also can absorb shit off of you. Above all, y'all, it's more of just try to take into account the things we do. Good and bad, they get a return from nature. It's like a video game, but you don't have a reset option. Closest thing we can do is repair it. And sometimes, well, y'all, it's like if we let Georgia's prairies go away. We'll never get them back again. We can try, but we'll never get the combination we had when we got here. And once those animals are gone, once the ecosystem is more or less set to whatever the fuck we're trying to build, it sets. If you want to see no more animals, then yeah, no more animals, no more bugs either. You'll have a lot less mosquitoes. You'll have a lot less flies. You'll have a lot less of the pests, but you'll also have a lot less rabbits. You won't see deer no more. Each thing you have to, good and bad. You know what I'm trying to say here, I hope? I mean, I don't like mosquitoes either, but they provide not only a good way to keep humans in check population-wise, but also they provide a key food source to a lot of smaller animals. For example, dragonflies. You like dragonflies? I like them. They look pretty. They eat mosquitoes like tiny sandwiches. They fly up to them and they catch them and they just nom them little bastards. And that's the thing. In nature, like right through here, give me a second, y'all. Like right through here. This is a beautiful nature trail that technically I probably shouldn't be on. Because where they run the power lines through, they also do the whole, maintaining it. Now, y'all hang out here and check out how pretty that view is. I'm gonna slip off over here off screen and tend to nature for a minute. This is one of them parts where I'm tending to nature and I don't want assistance or anybody watching me. I'm watering the plants, so to speak. I'm also, as I'm watering, looking around for something else to talk about. If I can see a, what's the word? A symbiotic relationship. Because a lot of our trees have gotten a symbiotic relationship with the ants around here. And it's neat when you can find a tree that's actually doing it. Because while we don't have a native leafcutter ant species here, we do have something that's developing almost like a leafcutter ant. I just haven't been able to. I'm back. Hello, dear viewers. Hello, Mark Spiltz. Hello again, Extraction Edits. I think I already said hi to you, though. And MXRX Fitz. Hello. How are y'all doing today? what I was saying, if you couldn't hear me, I'll repeat it right quick. But see, the purple plant that we saw growing, this is it in its basic form before it flowers. The good thing about this path is it doesn't get sprayed by the assholes from the city, hence the stinkweed. But also, milkgrass. This is a big thing for things like monarch butterflies. And what I was trying to find was, for lack of a better term, I'm gonna call them leaf cutter ants, but they're not. And since we're here anyway, these are from the park I go to. They're black walnuts. And that one is going back into the forest to maybe feed a squirrel, to maybe become a tree. Who knows? I'm up for whatever it chooses to do other than staying in my pocket. I like to spread the nature wherever I can. But yeah, y'all, for lack of a better term, I'm gonna call them leaf cutter ants, but Georgia does not have a native species of leaf cutter ants. This is just a little black ant, and by little I mean about the size of the tip of my pinky nail, but it's just a little black ant that forms colonies on these trees. Not this one, but when it forms a colony, these are caterpillar eggs, I want to say. When it forms a colony on the tree, it'll form things like these right here, but it'll form them back here on the branch, and they burrow into the tree. But what's neat is when you find them, you'll know you found them, because if you touch the tree, the ants come out in force. It's like the tree's willing to let them burrow in, and in exchange, they give the tree an alive protective force. And it'll keep caterpillars, it'll keep a lot of things off, because these ants are very carnivorous. They're eating whatever tries to eat their tree home. And that's what I'm saying, y'all. When it comes to like don't let nature be Disney-fied for you. It won't. Fun fact, on the Appalachian Trail, black bear attacks have gone up by 400%. Don't get too alarmed. That means 2 bears attacked 4 people, more or less. But that's still pretty wild numbers for black bears. Typically, the rhyme goes, much like with people, unfortunately, it seems, if it's black, fight back. If it's brown, lay down. That would be a grizzly bear. Play dead. Curl yourself in a ball and hope that it doesn't want to eat you, because you're not going to outrun it either way. If it's black, fight back, because most black bears, they're the ones they tell you carry a coffee can full of pennies and make yourself look big and scary. And most of the time, the humble, sweet black bear will fuck right off because he don't want no trouble. Black bears are typically insectivores more than carnivores. But apparently, due to, us destroying our Mother Earth, them not being able to find the insects they typically feed on and such, well, now they're going to dip into the meat section more. What I'm saying, y'all, is never ever think that you know nature 100%, because even being raised out here and truly loving this place, lots of milkweed, and truly loving this place, at least the nature and land portion of it, I still know that one day my life is going to end out here. One day something is going to either sneak up on me or catch me wrong, and I'm going to go down. And when that day comes, understand, please don't hunt that critter down that killed me. I'm fine with it. I don't want it. I'm not seeking it. But at the same time, now this is a teachable moment. Do we have any nearby? Fuck, if all we have is ragweed, this isn't as good a teachable moment. Boo, that sucks. Boo. That is goldenrod. It is good for tonics, tinctures, and pain. It's a good topical. It's also good if you happen to suffer from allergies. Make you a tea out of goldenrod for allergies, and it'll both taste fine and help you to adjust. This nasty bastard is ragweed. The more fun cousin of goldenrod. The reason I say more fun is I don't know if y'all could see it. These have been shaken up pretty good by the storm. But goldenrod, and the way you can easily tell the difference between the two, because the two look very similar. But goldenrod, oh good, I think we have some here. Goldenrod comes from these itty bitty little blossoms, and this is it in bloom. You can also get a little bit of golden powder off of it. And it feeds, no, come back, I want your picture. It feeds mosquito hawks like that one. But it feeds a variety of pollinators. And again, it's good for teas, and it's good for getting yourself up to being able to take care of, what is it, pollination, allergies, seasonal allergies. It can make a good little cure-all for that. For the area you're in, it's like natural honey. It only really works if you get it from the area you're in. Now that's another thing that's neat. That is a butterfly egg sac. And they're really cool too, because one day, if that's left alone long enough and they go to bloom, good God, I'm doing great. When they go to become larvae, they'll all crawl down from there. I said, you used to see a lot more of them. You used to see it, and ignorant dipshits like me as a kid would think it was giant spider webs in the trees. And it was actually just large colonies of caterpillars. You don't see those as much anymore. I truly hope that little fella isn't going extinct, but I haven't seen him for quite some time. Ugh. This road gets a little hard to walk in the spring. Also, if you're not careful, about midway to that power pole, there's about a 20-foot drop. They cut a trench in and didn't even give us the kindness of labeling it. Morning glories. Well, I guess afternoon, not really glorious glories. They look a lot prettier when you catch them in the morning. Also, fun fact, not that you should know this one, but you know, sneaky. If you find them and they're healthy and not from a store, you can open up the inner blossoms and get the seed pods out of them, blend those into a tea, and it creates an LSD style fun kicking trip. Understand, if you get one of the ones from the garden center, you will get the screaming shits because they poison those seeds to, you know, prevent hippies from doing that anymore. Back in the day, that was why most people bought the morning glories from the store. Why do people swerve like they're gonna hit me? Because they are, Blanche. They're aiming for you. Nah, I just put it on people don't pay attention when they're driving. But honestly, this is like the ideal walking weather. So I figured, you know, take the chance to do some yapping. What else can I do some good yapping about? Well, I guess I can jump back on it, but the whole consumerism thing. Y'all, we've been taught since we were children, if you're a millennial like me or younger, you've been taught from the beginning, oh, you're sad? Here, buy this, you'll feel better. See, don't you feel better? We've been taught that way. Similar to, if you're an elder millennial like me, I remember when smoking was cool. And I do mean smoking in general. Pot smoking, cigarette smoking. Hell, I smoked a fucking pipe back in the day, and by that I mean an actual, like, Markscum, whatever. It changed colors as you cooked the tobacco in it. But I smoked a pipe back in the day because I was told it made you look intelligent. You look real stupid when you got the lung cancer, though, don't you? That's kind of like how consumerist culture is now. Because by no means, if you're in a bad mood or it's been a bad day and you got some cash, go hit up an artist market. Go patron your local baked goods salesman. Or, you know, maybe go, I don't know, if you're in an area where it's legal and I can legally say it, go support your local flower merchant. But at the same time, let's not just say, oh, I'm in a bad mood, so I need to go buy this $10 piece of plastic bullshit. If you're getting something to make yourself feel better, it should actually be something to better you, not just something to better some evil corporation. Because they're all evil, friends. There's not a single goddamn one of them that's worth their fucking weight. And every single one, we would be better off without. I mean, keep in mind, there was a time when a worker like me, the very least you could afford would be a car. Nowadays, cars are the new houses. But then again, I've been told pets are the new kids. So I don't know. Maybe I'm kind of breaking even in the whole American dream bullshit. Then again, I think George Carlin said it best, and that was way back in '99. It's called the American dream because you got to be fucking asleep to buy it. Wake up, folks. And for fuck's sake, stop using woke as a pejorative. Ain't nothing wrong with being woke. It's much better than being asleep in a world that's trying to eat you. And now comes the kudzu march. This is where you really get those hips, those glutes, and those calves worked out. Because you gotta sort of high knee that shit to get through this. Like I said, y'all, is it hard? You betcha. That's part of what makes it worth doing, isn't it? But what you do, your act of charity or whatever it is, does not have to be hard. You can achieve the same goal as me, possibly more so, in your local area by reaching out and talking to folks. Building those communities, folks, it is scary, but it is worth it. And if at any point you feel like, oh no, I can't do it, again, I ask you to remember Benjamin Levy, the 4-foot-tall Quaker man who stood up against slavery and stood for animal rights before any of that was a thing. Also, check out Benjamin Levy. I did a short video on him, but check out Altache Films on him instead, because Altache did a way better job than me. Go figure. I gotta take it short, catch my breath, and then I'm gonna climb this tiny hill. I fear that if I try to do it as it stands, I'm gonna step too far to the right or left and end up, either falling into the thorn patch or finding the path at the end of the clearing in one of these Pavement Princess trucks. I don't know why I'm being so mean. That they aren't really the big Pavement Princess trucks. They're just oversized and stupid. Pavement Princess was that one squatted one. Those are still working trucks. They're just, oversized for the work they likely do. Plus, hire more workers, have more people coming in smaller vehicles that carry just as much freight rather than, there's no reason to have a 4-door truck is what I'm saying, y'all. You sacrifice bed space, you sacrifice the purpose of the truck. And for what? What you want is a car or a van. You don't want a truck. You just want a truck because all the big country boys have trucks. It's a stupid reason to have a truck, friends. They are a very big hole in the ground and commitment on gas and parts if you don't need it. But alright, I think we've about come to the end of our journey together, friends. I still have about I see a passion fruit, so we'll see if there's any fruit on that. And then I think we've come about to the end of our journey, friends. See what I mean by passion fruit? It's pretty. But somewhere, eventually these styles of blossoms might turn into fruits. And if they turn into fruits and the groundhogs don't get them first, I'll be getting them and spreading them. Because passion fruit makes a delicious beverage. It's also a good antioxidant. And there's other uses, I'm sure. But wind's getting a little choppy, and while my mic might not pick up my voice for shit, it'll still play. So I'm probably gonna go watch Hannah Reloaded, and I highly suggest you go check her out too if she's still alive, or not. If it's a VOD, it's still worth watching. Go check out Hannah Reloaded with me. I'll see you in live chat when you get there, if you get there. Y'all, I highly appreciate you watching. I highly appreciate you hanging out with me. It's been about an hour, 10 minutes. And I mean, if you wanted to buy me a coffee, name's Travis Croy, capital T, capital C, TRAVISCROY. I should have it set on there that you can join for $1. I am going to add art projects and the various other things we do. Outside of that, as I said, I highly appreciate you watching. That's enough to help. But if you really want to go get it, start planting wild food. If you live in a city and you don't have the ground space to plant wild near the riverways and whatnot, then in that case, hydroponics is your option. Buy you a 2 liter of water or soda or whatever you buy, cut the bottle in half, flip the bottle, use the bottom half that's solid as the holder for the water, put your soil in the top half, have a wick go through it, and within about 2 weeks, you'll start to see food. You can use this for herbs with smaller bottles, or for bigger bottles, you can even set up tomato plants, potato plants, things like that. But try to grow you some wild food. Find new addictions that'll actually benefit you. Like what I've been doing with growing. Y'all, I can't tell you how amazing it feels to find some of the stuff that I throw out growing wild months later. And yes, sometimes it's a temporary high. The plants get eaten up. They get found and destroyed, or the city wants to spray them with poison if they're too close to the road. But when they grow and when you can eat your own fruit and veggies, it does something to the human mind. It's a nice buzz, so to speak. Something that alcohol and THC just can't replicate. Either way, give it a grow if you like. Above all, I appreciate you coming out. I do appreciate all of y'all. And I will see y'all here in a few hours. Probably no more than 3 more hours for me to get home, get my boots off after 9 or 12 hours on them, and then get situated for the stream. We're definitely going to do Cult of the Lamb first, but then we'll roll the dice to see what comes next. I hope to see y'all there. If not, I appreciate you watching this. I hope the wind wasn't too bad on y'all. And we will see you in the next one. Love y'all and bye for now. What the fuck? Yes,